I'm going to go through a couple. I have a list here of things that people have been contacting us about regarding the latest updates. So I'm going to go through this list I have here, and if you guys have questions, you know how this works. Just interrupt me if you like, or ask in the chat, whatever you feel more comfortable with. And let's do this. Okay, so one of the questions, and this is interesting, was quite interesting to find out. One of the questions that we've been receiving is how can I build basic, but like more basic stacks? Like how can I go back to the previous Staxio version where you didn't have the wizard? And how can I make my builds more simple? Right. So let me. So this is quite simple, actually. So I have no projects here in the planner. Okay. So I'm going to do a very basic, like bare bones, basic, very simple Google Stack build, but it has to be from the wizard. Okay. Okay. So I'm just gonna fill out the mandatory fields, which for the wizard are just the top keyword and the target URL. Not gonna add an article or anything. I can remove this. This is like a default setting I have when I do my builds. Just gonna remove the information I have here just to make it like the most basic stack that you can create with Staxio. So I'm just removing data here, okay, from the input fields. So I have nothing. I just want to leave them all empty. I'm going to go to the next step on the wizard, which is the keywords. Step number 2, I have nothing here. Just want to make sure I don't have anything. I'm just going to go to the last step, which is the HTML files. Target URL, nothing. Schema, nothing. Yeah, and everything is disabled. Okay, I'm going to save this to the planner. So I'm going to go back to the Google Stack. Just make sure this is all I have is the keyword and the target URL. Nothing else. Okay, it's all empty. All the fields on the wizard. I'm going to go to the HTML files because it's where we save to the planner. I'm going to click on Save to the Planner, and now we're going to watch the projects that are going to appear with this status of saved on the planner table here. So just a few more seconds, and then I'm going to show you how. If you don't want like all the advanced steps and projects that Staxio creates automatically, you can just delete them and just leave the Google Stack on the table. It probably is not, well, it's because it's so basic. The stack we just created is so basic. It doesn't have any keywords, so the keyword projects won't be available, right? So only HTML comments and then the converter. Okay. So if you feel this is like too much, this is what I recommend you do. Just delete all the stuff and just leave the Google Stack. Okay. That's what I do. Just deleting everything and just leaving the Google Stack. And this is how you kind of get the same build as we had before we introduced the wizard builder feature. Because in order for you to do all these projects manually, you're going to have to go through these tabs here. The comments, the converter, the HTML, right? And then do this one by one manually, okay? But if that's not something you want to do, then this is how you do it. You just use the wizard, save the projects on the planner, and just leave the Google stack, which is already building. So just have this Google stack here. That's the most basic build you can get from Staxio. Okay. No article, no keywords, no nothing. Okay, that's the most basic. And if you want to go more, like add more info to the Google stack, which is this project on the planner here, you can just add an article, add YouTube links if you have, images, call to action, business information, and all this data here. Okay, don't go into the keywords or the HTML files. Just add the info here on the Google Stack step of the wizard, and just go into the HTML files tab and then click on Save the Planner. That's how you get the most basic Google Stack. If that's what you're looking for. So for you folks that asked this question, how to make these more basic Google Stacks, this is how you do it. So that is the first thing that I wanted to talk about. The second thing, okay, the second thing is the pending projects with errors. Okay, so what happens is, so sometimes when you get I'm going to try and see if I can create a project that has an issue, okay, that has a problem. And the easiest way to do that is, not the easiest, but the most common, because that's what we got a lot of requests and questions about, was the destination folder. This field here. So a lot of you, what you are doing is you're even though you are on the same account that is connected to Staxio, and then you create a folder, even if it's you have the folder on the same account that's connected to Staxio, and then you paste the folder here. You still have to configure permissions, because it's not enough. Don't think that it's enough to just be the owner of the folder in order for Staxio to build into that particular folder. You still have to give that folder edit permissions, okay? Because that's not out of the box. That's not a configuration that is by default out of the box available. Okay? You still have to go into that folder, and I'll try and do an example now. You still have to go into that folder and give that folder edit permissions. I don't know if any of you guys here on the call have tried to do that, but I'll show you what happens. So let me go into, okay, I'm going to keep the same data. So, well, let me check what the status is on this build, because I think it's already completed. And while that's updating the planner, I'm going to go into my Google Drive. Give me a minute while I go here on another browser and get the folder URL. Okay. Well, maybe, give me a second. Maybe you guys need to see the folder and the settings of the folder. So 1 second. So I can go here. Temp. So let me try. This is a bunch of, so if I create a folder, testing for Staxio. Okay, so I go into this folder. I just created on my account, right? It's not public, right? It's private. It's not public. I haven't touched the folder. And this is what I think a lot of you are doing. And then you take the URL of the folder, you go into Staxio, and then you paste the URL here. It's going to give you an error. And let's do that because that's exactly what I'm looking for. Just going to save to the planner, just not going to enable anything. Let's keep things very simple. Yeah, okay, so this one is already built. And what I'm trying to have you guys notice is what happens when there's a project with an issue. Because that seems that doesn't seem very straightforward. So I want to make that clear, how you guys can troubleshoot your project. Oh, what happened? Okay, here, where's the call? Here. Yes. Okay. Reloading the planner. And I'm going to build the Google Stack. And the Google Stack, when it builds, it's going to give us a warning, an error message. Okay, it's building already. That's very good. So this is the Google Stack that will throw an error. Excuse me. And because we're using the wizard and the Staxio robot, the automation engine, I'm going to have to look into my emails. So the email that is connected to Staxio. All right. And let me open up my Gmail. Google Stack. Okay. Can I see this message? You do not have permission to edit this folder. Actually, this should have been a different. It should have been a message like, "Oops," like this one, build failed. We have to look into that. But the Google Stack, now that it's not going to build the next projects because the associated Google Stack is not built yet, right? Because it gave us an error. And the error is you do not have permission to edit this folder, right? So what I'm gonna do, so first let's take a look at what happens. Let me reload the planner. Because this Google Stack now has an error. This one was built. So see the thing is, it's going to be on the building. It's going to stay on the building status. There won't be a build button on this Google Stack. And you won't be able to, if you try to build these, for example, let's see if I can build. So I did a manual build. So I press the build button and it should show me the same error message that I got on the email, which is the associated Google Stack is not built yet. Perfect. So this is exactly what I was expecting. Okay. So this is what happens, and the associated projects that are connected to this Google Stack, which are everything on the planner except this one. Let me delete this just to avoid any confusion. I'm just going to delete this Google Stack because it has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now. So all the projects will not be built because the Google Stack is not built. And all these projects, the HTML, the comments, the converter, and the keywords, they all depend on the Google Stack being built successfully for them to start their own build. I hope that makes sense to you guys. So unless the Google Stack is built, yeah, so now the project is going to be on the, this is going to change to saved. But unless the Google Stack has completed successfully, the other projects, the other associated projects will not be built. Okay, so this is how you you know that your Google Stack yeah, has some kind of issue, warning, an error, whatever. Just do another refresh. So if you see the projects that are not being built, do not change the status to built. Okay, either stay on building the Google Stack. Typically, the Google Stack will stay on the building status, and all the others will either be building or saved. It doesn't complete. It doesn't say built. That means you have an error. There was an error somewhere. Okay. And yeah, what you should do next, once you find out what the error is, in my case was the Google Sheet. Doesn't have the enough permissions to be used for the build. Fix the permissions. I can do that in a minute. And fix the permissions on the folder, and then you have to delete this because it's not going to. We're not able to edit the data on the builds. So this is what we have to do: delete all the stack, the whole stack, and then run the wizard again. So if I go to this folder and then let me try and add the permissions, needed permissions. So I'm going to go with anyone in the with the link is an editor. Done. So I'm going to build into this folder. So let's try and do that. Testing keywords, Staxio tools. Folder is the same. Want to check? Yes. So I'm going to do another save to the planner. And now that I've added the folder with the needed settings, I expect to see the build to add all the files and folders of the Google Stack into this particular folder. It's already started. Okay, so it's building the articles, loading the planner, and the Google Stack on the planner for sure will already have the status of building because it's already doing it. Hope it makes sense so far, guys. Have any questions?
Yeah, no, I'm getting ideas now. That's pretty good.
There we go. So the automation engine will just go through each of the projects and build them out all for you in the background. You know how that works. Well, I'm guessing. I'm hoping you know how that works by now. It's taking a bit longer to reload because it's already working in the background. So if you see that the reload message here is taking too long, just try and press the refresh button, the reload button here on the planner, because Staxio is now, okay, it finished. Staxio was busy, it still is, I think, building. So when it's working or already working in the background, things will take a bit more than usual. So, and if I take a look at the Google Stack, it's now, yeah, it's building the keyword 2 minutes ago. It's going to go through each of these projects and just build them out, excuse me, automatically. Okay, so, and I have another thing that I want to cover here from my list today, which is how can you do manual builds? So if you don't, so this question is about if you don't want to wait for the builder to build everything out for you in the background, because every 10 minutes, the builder will go into your database, will look into the projects you have, and then it will, every 10 minutes, we'll build one project and then another project. Okay, so we'll build the Google Stack and then it will build the HTML files. Okay, then we'll build the comments and then convert everything out. We don't have keywords. So if you want to go and do this manually, there's a sequence you should follow. Okay, so, and the sequence was shared on our Facebook private mastermind. So let me grab that link.
Since the bot only comes around every 10 minutes, does that mean through automation, it takes 90 minutes for the full stack to build?
Yeah, depends on the number. Depends on the number. Yeah, you say that it's 9 here, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, it will take 90 minutes to build everything out for you in the background. Yes. Well, with an interval of 10 minutes, when it builds the project, it takes a maximum of 5 to 6 minutes. But yeah, between each project, there is an interval of 10 minutes. So let me find the link to, there we go, to the sequence you should be following to. Oh, is this link gonna open? Let me see. Oh shit, it's not. Give me a second. I'm gonna drag the into the screen. So this is the sequence, right? So first is the Google Stack. Second is the HTML files. Let me go into the planner. So Google Stack. If you want to do this manually, right? We're talking about if you don't want to wait for the builder, for the automation engine, for the robot to build the projects for you in the background. This is how you, if you want to go here and click the build buttons, follow this sequence. You start with the Google Stack. Okay, you go into the Google Stack and then you press the build button. It's not building. Then second one is HTML files. You go into the HTML project, click the build button. Okay, and go through the list. Keywords, if you have keywords projects, select the keywords project. We don't have any here in this one, but click the build button on those projects and then comments and then convert. The convert doesn't matter. Just click on whatever converter. The sequence by which you choose to click on the either PDF, Microsoft, or slides or whatever, doesn't matter. Just focus on following the sequence of this sequence here. Google Stack, and then second HTML files, keywords, comments, and then converter. Okay, I just want to cover that because we had a lot of questions about that, about people who want to, who don't want to wait. Probably like, who asked the question? Was it Jimmy, I think? So if you don't want to wait for the builds to complete in the background for you, do this. Follow the sequence and then go on the actions and then click on the buttons on the projects you want to complete.
Okay, thank you for clearing that up. I typically start working with the links immediately after the build is done. So coming back 90 minutes later wouldn't necessarily be ideal for me.
Okay. Then follow the sequence. So Google Stack keywords. Usually, if you do keywords, then after the Google Stack, build the keywords. Sorry, the HTML. Sorry, let me go back. Yeah, the HTML. Sorry, on second, and then on third, the keywords projects, and then everything else. Okay. Let me add in a couple of keywords, just so we have an example. Just gonna type whatever random stuff in here. And then probably add some more keywords here too. So first, second, third, so that we have a few more keywords into this build. So let me do another save to the planner. Let's add some slides, QR codes, and shorteners. Save this to the planner. I should have added a tag. That's all right. My keyword is going to be the same, right? I can tell by the date it was created. It's going to be different stack here on the planner. Okay. So this is going to bring up the number of projects on the planner because we added keywords to over, so maybe 11 or 12, or probably more, depending on the number of keywords you add. Okay. So this, where does it start? So this is where it starts this. Where is it? Keywords 31, right? No, it starts here. So Google Stack, excuse me, HTML, and then we have keywords, and then convert. All right, we have one more project on. For every batch of keywords, it adds one additional keyword project. Actually, let me confirm that. 4, 5, 6. So we only added one. And I'm going to change the keyword. So, 6 keywords. To the planner. So, on the first project that I've created, it has already built all these out for me. Well, look, this is a test version of Staxio, so everything is a bit more because we're testing. It doesn't take 10 minutes; it takes less than that. So this is why we see you guys are seeing the builds getting done faster. Keywords project, and this So this goes all the way down to here. So this is, these are all the projects. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Project created for this code. So the more keywords you add to a build, the more keywords projects you're also going to get on the planner as well. And I think that is all that I wanted to talk about today. So we covered how to create basic stacks, how to troubleshoot and look into errors. Move on to the next. Oops. Yeah. Here. And
You're really muffled on this end. I can barely hear you.
oh, how about now?
That's much better.
But sound better? Okay, thank you
Yes.
for letting me know. So I was saying that this is about everything that I wanted to talk about with you guys today, because we are getting a lot of questions about how to do these manual builds, because a lot of people don't want to wait for the builds to complete in the background. And then how to create basic stacks, we covered at the beginning of the call. And how to look for errors when your projects have an issue or something went wrong with your projects. And we covered that too. Somebody wants to join. Where's the? Okay. And so far so good, guys.
I do have one. I do have one question.
Mhm.
Let's say we want to go back and add a new set of comments to the stack. Are we only selecting the Google stack since everything is now its own project, or do we have to select more than that?
So there is the comments feature here.
Okay, we can do it outside of the wizard then. Okay.
Right. So you select a Google stack you want to add comments to. So let's say it was this one. And then you build your comments.
Okay, that remains the same. Thanks.
Yes. So yeah, if you want to add more comments after everything gets built out, then yeah, this is the way to do it. Or keywords, right? If you want to add more keywords, you can do that too. Just select the Google stack, right? Just pick the Google stack and then add the keywords you want to add to. Same for the convert feature. If you want to convert the stacks again, your files again, or build out the HTML file, you can do that too by selecting the Google stack and using these tabs here, and then selecting the Google stack you want to build that into. This is the way you can do it.
I do like this update though, brother. I do. It's pretty good, man. Streamlines everything.
And yeah, the next update, we're just talking with just before the call, we're talking to David about this. Is the schedule? It's not available yet, okay? So don't go looking for it in your Staxio yet, because it's not published. But we're going to be able to schedule the builds into a date in the future. And you can save it to the planner, but it will only get built on the date that you select here. Okay. That's a feature some considerable number of people have been asking for. And same for keywords. Say you already have a Google stack that's already built, and you want to add more keywords to that Google stack in, I don't know, 3 days from now, whatever, a week from now. You can come here and schedule the builds for those keywords for that specific date you're interested in. And the keywords will only get built on that day.
No, that part I do like.
Yeah,
That part I
and
do
the
like.
idea that you gave me, David, about dripping on different days, different like. So you're saying that if we have a number of keywords here, right? For then build each of these keywords on a different date.
Yeah, like so if I did say, let me see, we're the 22nd. So if I did say let's do it on the 24th, then every day from the 24th to 5 days from there, one document is built.
I see. So the way okay. So the
And we
way
don't even have to do it that way now because, I mean, you can still do it if you want to. That'd be great. But now that you're showing me that I could do this, I'm really factoring in how I'm going to utilize this.
well, yeah, that could be like a switch or an option, like drip feed the
Yeah, like
keywords.
we got the interval. You know how we got the interval for Blogger on
Yeah, there's another place. I think it's live events. We have an interval as well. Yeah, okay, no, but that's not a bill. It's just a start and end date, but that's an interval. But for Blogger, yeah, I know. I know what you mean. Going to the Blogger.
like that would be great. That would be great too. Of course, that doesn't mean I'm not going to use the mess out of this other one that you got going on either. So,
see, create post. Yeah, schedule.
now that you showed me that folder part, I'm like, okay, I got a new idea.
The folder. Ah,
Yeah, I don't know why that was a puzzle for me, but now it is. No, it isn't.
right, and yeah, it makes it does help a lot when, for example, you are on the same project, you're building, you built a Google stack, and then you're working with maps, right? Then you can have everything built automatically on the same folder. Or say you start with
Right.
Google Maps and then you want to build a Google stack for the local SEO project you're doing. Then you can use the folder already created by the local SEO here, the Maps Builder, and then come on the Stacks Wizard and use the local SEO folder you created, that the Maps Builder created for you, and then use this folder to build the stacks for the local SEO project.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
But the thing about the folders is that you need to make sure that even though you are the owner of the folder and the account that you are using with Staxio, you own all the stuff, you still have to go on and edit the permissions just to make sure that they're public and they are editable. That's the only, I see a lot of people like hitting this, this wall. But that's pretty much it. If you guys don't have any more questions, I'm going to end the call for now. All good?
Yep, thank you for putting it on today. We appreciate it.
You're welcome, Jim. Thank you for
Yep.
being here.
I'm educated.
All right. Okay. We'll see
Thank you,
you on the
brother.
next one. Thank you for joining. Take care.
One more question, maybe. A new question. Good afternoon. Boa tarde.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
I have a question about the stacks are publicly open and editable. What happens when they go live? Do you have to reset that permission? if somebody can find them and edit them or not?
Sure. Yes, if you keep the settings as editable, then that is what can happen. It's not. It hasn't happened. It hasn't been the case or my experience at all. But if you're worried about those permissions, then once you finish your builds, right? Once you build, your builds are complete, then change the permissions back into
Yeah.
just
Okay.
commenter, which is what Staxio creates for you. Let me show you. Let me go into where here, the folder. So yeah, testing for Staxio, right? So the folder at the moment has editor. Sorry, this is in Portuguese, but editor,
Yeah.
it's same in English. So change this back to either reader or comment. So commenter, Staxio, if you're gonna do any more comments or builds on the stack, I recommend you change this to commenter, because if you're gonna build comments, this is the permissions that Staxio needs to create comments. If you're not gonna build anything else, then just use the reader, because comments will allow Staxio and other people also to make comments on your files and folders and on your Google Stack.
Okay, it's clear.
Makes
Thank
sense?
you. Yes.
Okay. You had another question?
No,
Or
fine for now.
that was it?
Yes, just starting to using it. So
Yeah, I think I saw you joining us not just a few days ago, I think.
yeah, I
Was it?
joined Friday evening, and then in 24 hours I got all the APIs and everything added. So yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna start. Thank you.
All good? Okay. Well, keep us posted. And yeah, welcome on board.
Thank you very much. Will do. And bye bye.
Okay. Bye, guys. Take care. The